everyone, it's Katie from Paradise Falls family, and welcome back to our vlog series covering our 3-week trip to Florida, the Bahamas and the Deep South in August 2025. In today's video, we'll be giving a bit of a first-timers guide to Epic Universe, covering what you can get up to and how we spent our day here. With Epic Universe being so new, it's incredibly busy, so knowing how best to tackle it is really important. We'll let you know what we learned and what mistakes we made. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, we're a family of 4 who love to travel the world together, and we create informative family travel vlogs. We cover the places we've visited and talk about our own experiences with the aim of helping you make the most of your family trip. We've covered loads of places already on our channel, from Europe to North America to Asia, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and check out some of our other videos. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and we also have a website, www.adventuresxparadise.com, with our friends Adventures by Nap, which we're still adding to, but will eventually cover details of all of our trips, as well as guides to things like cruising, Walt Disney World, and other popular family destinations. So make sure to check all of that out when planning your trip, or if you're just looking for inspiration. So back to today's video, an Epic Universe. There are tons of YouTube videos covering Orlando and all the things you can do, including Epic Universe, but we thought we'd do an overview and first-timers guide for anyone out there who might not have visited yet and is wondering where to start. We also cover what happens on a rainy day here, as it made a huge difference to us and it's potentially something that could derail your whole day. Epic Universe is Universal Orlando Resort's newest and most ambitious theme park, having opened in 2025. It's the 3rd main theme park at the Universal Orlando Resort, or the 4th if you include the water park Volcano Bay. Coupled with City Walk, the entertainment and dining district, and many hotels within this resort, this now makes Universal a destination to genuinely rival Walt Disney World. Designed as a next-generation destination, Epic Universe features amazing attractions, immersive themed lands, and state-of-the-art entertainment experiences. The park is divided into several uniquely themed zones, each offering its own distinct atmosphere and rides. The attention to detail in the park's design is particularly impressive. Whether you're seeking thrills, family-friendly attractions, or simply a new experience in Orlando, Epic Universe has something for everyone. First things first, what tickets should you get? If you're interested in visiting Epic Universe, you can currently only buy single-day tickets. This applies even if you've got one of the many multi-day tickets available for the Universal Resort and you just add on a day here as an upgrade to your ticket. It means that a visit is currently pretty expensive. Given you'll likely only have a day, it also inevitably means that you'll be tight for time. You can upgrade to include express passes, but personally we couldn't justify the cost on top of what we'd already paid for tickets for a single day out. The park itself is arranged around a central area called Celestial Park, with 4 main themed lands fanning out from here: Super Nintendo World, Dark Universe, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. It's similar to the classic theme park hub and spoke layout that makes it easy to cross from one area to another. Celestial Park is technically a 5th land that pretty much makes up the entire middle area of the park, without having a particularly distinct theme. This encompasses the entrance area, the water features down the centre of the park, and a couple of rides, Stardust Races, a particularly intense dueling coaster, and 2 tamer options, Constellation Carousel and Astronomica. The very back of the park is dominated by the Helios Grand Hotel, a pricey but spectacular option if you want park views and early access. Assuming you don't have early access, and if you've not booked express passes, it's really important you get here for opening to stand a chance of getting on a ride or two with shorter queues. Your choice of where to start is really important here. For us, our 2 priorities for the day were the Harry Potter ride, Battle at the Ministry, and Super Nintendo World. We didn't want to run the risk of bad weather coming in and messing up our day, so we wanted to start with one of these. However, unfortunately, this was everybody else's plan too. It also went against the advice we'd received from several people, saying to go to How to Train Your Dragon or Dark Universe first to get some of these rides done with much lower wait times. In hindsight, we wish we'd have listened to this advice, as we'd probably have got a lot more done and had a better day than we did. We spoke to a lovely cast member who really tried to persuade us to go to the Isle of Berk How to Train Your Dragon area first. We wish we'd listened, as he obviously knew exactly what he was talking about. We foolishly ignored all advice and decided to start with Super Nintendo World, so we'll begin by talking through this area and how we found it. Super Nintendo World, for us, was the most exciting area of the park, and the land we were most keen to see. This is located in the bottom left corner of the park, and because of its design, it feels the smallest and busiest land. The theme in here is spectacular. As you travel up one of the pipes from the game into the land, it really feels like you've been dropped directly into a Super Mario video game. The land is spread over multiple levels, with different areas to enjoy, plenty of meet and greets and interactive games, which we didn't have time to enjoy, so I won't go into a lot of detail on these. The only downside is how busy, loud and hot it feels here. With the mass of people and all of the noise from the games, it can be quite a sensory overload and a bit intense, so be warned. The land has 3 rides in total: Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, Minecart Madness and Yoshi's Adventure. We really wanted to start with Minecart Madness, as this was one of the main rides we wanted to experience. This is located in what is almost a Donkey Kong subland at the back of Super Nintendo World. Just head down to the bottom level and the back of the land and you'll find the route through to this area. Again, it's spectacularly themed and includes a Donkey Kong meet and greet, the Bubbly Barrel snack bar and the ride itself. This is a family-friendly coaster themed around Donkey Kong. The technology is fantastic and it looks as though you actually leave the track at one point. Unfortunately, the technology isn't all that reliable yet. We joined the queue and the ride immediately went down. We decided to just wait it out and hope that we'd get there eventually, but we ended up queuing well over 2 hours and counted that the ride went down 4 different times whilst we were in the queue. This ruined our hopes of making good use of being there for opening and set us up on the back foot for the rest of the day. The queue is great, albeit a lot of it is outside in the sun, and the ride is fun, but it's extremely short and pretty rickety in keeping with the theme of the ride. However, it means it's not actually all that enjoyable to ride, and having waited over 2 hours, we didn't feel like it was time well spent. Once the park has been open a while longer and it's a little quieter, it'll be a good ride and a great addition to the park, but it's definitely not worth a 2-hour queue. From here, we'd hoped to ride something else, but when we checked, everything had massive wait times across the whole park of well over an hour for each ride. So we'd hoped to let these die down and have some lunch at the Toadstool Cafe, the main dining option in this area of the park. Unfortunately, this involved more queuing. Be sure to ask outside how long the wait is, as it looked like a really short queue outside, so we decided to just stand in it, only to find that that queue actually led us to 2 different hidden queues inside. This meant a quick service lunch took us over 2 hours, so by the time we left it was early afternoon. We were well over 4 hours in and we'd only done 1 ride and had lunch. Not as productive as we'd hoped. In terms of the food itself though, it was very nice. Standard theme park offering really, but with some fun twists and themed food. The dining hall itself, again, is really well themed. There's lots of tables, air conditioning and good service. So overall, we would recommend it. Just be wary of wait times here. As we left the cafe, we had our first and only lucky break of the day. Yoshi's Adventure had just reopened, having also been down because of technical difficulties, and we caught it with just a 15-minute queue. This is a small kids ride, very slow moving, taking you essentially on a mini tour around the top level of the land. Once again, great theming, but really slow and in the beating sun, so unless you've got very little ones, probably one you can afford to miss. Note, as this is outside, it's also vulnerable to closing in bad weather, so keep this in mind if you want to do this. The third ride here, Mario Kart, was also very high on our list, but for the rest of the day the queue never dropped below around 2 hours, so we weren't able to fit it in. If you're visiting in the stormy summer months, as we were, you might find, like we did, that in bad weather a lot of the outdoor rides close. This means that the few indoor rides end up with huge queues, and as a result, Mario Kart and Battle at the Ministry in particular always have continuously high wait times. The ride does look really fun, and we love Mario Kart, as do most people, so it was a shame, but hopefully we'll get to ride it next time. Having accepted defeat with Mario Kart, we decided if we wanted to ride the Battle at the Ministry, we'd just have to go for it and join the queue. We'd been advised that the queue time never really drops below 2 hours, so we joined the queue showing a 2-hour wait time and just settled in for the wait. As it happens, this was a half-decent decision because while we were in there, a storm rolled in and we were able to miss a lot of it in this queue. It also meant though that the queue time had shot up even further by the time we got off, as everyone had piled inside to try and escape the weather. The queue itself is absolutely spectacular as far as queues can go, as if you're really in the hallways of the Ministry of Magic. And watch out for the amazing effects as you enter via the fireplace, as flue powder is used to transport you to your new location. This part was absolutely amazing and worked so well in terms of how the queue changed your location, and you have such a grand reveal into the Ministry of Magic itself. The ride itself is a combination of different effects and simulation as you ride through the Ministry. It's quite similar to Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey in the Islands of Adventure Park, but in our opinion, much better. I'd classify it as family friendly. There's no big scares, drops or really fast sections, but the effects are amazing and it's so much fun. So in this case, the long queue was justified, and we didn't feel like we'd wasted our time like we did when we came off the Minecart Madness ride. This is currently the only ride in the Harry Potter section of Epic Universe, although there are rumours of a future expansion. There are various other shows and live entertainment on throughout the day, and some cool shops, including a very fun but very pricey sweet shop. As with the other lands, the theming is amazing, and you really do feel like you're in the streets of Paris. But for us, it doesn't quite match up to Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley in the other two parks, in our opinion, in terms of immersive experience. Having really enjoyed this ride, we exited ready for some more fun, but were greeted with pouring rain and the majority of the rides being shut. The few indoor rides left had crazy queues, which meant there wasn't a lot we could really do at this point. We decided we'd have a wander through the other two lands to at least see them and hope that something opened up in the meantime. We started with Dark Universe, themed after all of the classic horror Universal movies and characters. There are two rides here, Curse of the Werewolf, which looks like a really fun roller coaster that spins as you fly around. We did fancy this, but it remained closed. The second is the Monsters Unchained ride. This looked to be a fairly intense simulator ride. I really wanted to try it, but wasn't sure if it was one for the kids, so we gave it a miss. In hindsight, from speaking to others, I think they may have enjoyed it, so don't write it off like we did. If you're into your horror movies, this land is spectacular. I'll say it yet again, it has wonderful theming, some great character meets, and a few decent dining options too. Don't miss the Burning Blade Tavern with a windmill that periodically lights on fire. We tried to see this but didn't catch it because of the rain, but the videos we've seen of this look amazing. The last land left for us to explore was the How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. Being completely honest, we're not How to Train Your Dragon fans, hence why it just wasn't a priority for us. At the risk of upsetting a lot of hardcore fans, we've never even seen any of the films. However, the rides here do look really good, and that's why we think it's good advice to start your day here when it's quieter and you can get through some of the great rides here and really fun attractions without many queues. You've got Hiccup's Wing Gliders, which looks like a really fun family coaster. Dragon Racers Rally, which is an aerial ride where you do barrel rolls and looks really fun. And Fire Drill, which is a tamer boat ride which would be great on hot days. Coupled with a brilliant play area which the kids enjoyed despite the rain, and some great character meets, this is a land not to underestimate like we did. There is also a show here which people absolutely rave about and say it's one of the must-dos of the whole park. For us though, it was now early evening, it was still pouring down with rain, so there were few rides left open and all had long wait times. We were all pretty tired and really frustrated that we'd only actually got on 3 rides all day, and to be honest, we'd just had enough. Rather than try and wait out the rain any further, we decided to admit defeat and call it a day. Overall, not the day we'd hoped for, but nevertheless we remained really impressed by the park and its theming, and are really excited for what it will become in the future. So in summary, as you'll have gathered by now, our day at Epic Universe wasn't quite what we'd hoped for. It is a wonderful theme park and will be a great day out. However, we found that at present, it's too popular, too busy, has too many technical difficulties, and visiting in the stormy summer months means you're vulnerable to the effects of rain closure, which seem to have a much bigger impact on this park than any other theme park we've visited. Therefore, a day alone is really unlikely to be enough. By the time next summer rolls around, Hopefully this will have improved a little bit more, and perhaps access won't be as restricted as it currently is, which will make things easier as people will probably dip in and out a little bit more during the day. If you're visiting for just a day, our tip is probably to begin in the Isle of Berk, just like we were advised. Use that time to get some rides done, because Super Nintendo World and Harry Potter will be busy throughout the day regardless. Then work out which of the others you're most prepared to queue for. We found it extremely rare for the Ministry of Magic wait time to fall below 2 hours, so don't go into the day expecting to catch this any lower. You're unlikely to get everything or even a lot done, so set your expectations and enjoy your day. Use the shows around the park as another way to try and get more done and feel like you've got your money's worth from the day. So hopefully that's given you a good guide on what to expect at Epic Universe and provided some tips on how to make the most of your day. We'll soon be adding a full guide to the park and the Universal Resort in general on our website www.adventuresxparadise.com, so check that out. This also completes our vlog series looking at our summer trip to the USA. If you think we've missed anything or have any questions, ask away in the comments below and we'll do our best to help. If you found this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel, as it really makes a massive difference to us. In the next few weeks, we'll be covering our trips to Dubrovnik and Disneyland Paris, so make sure to catch those. We've got loads of videos already on our channel and information on our website, so check those out for more family-based travel guides. Thank you all so much for watching.